Hey everyone, welcome to week 3. I hope that you are enjoying your discussions. I hope today is a great discussion. So far, this is where we're at in our Compelled series. We've gone over our mission statement, why we exist, and that's to lead people to become fully devoted followers of Jesus. We've gone over our vision statement. This is our preferred future. This is what we want our church to be like. We want to be a church of all cultures. We're curious, skeptical, and hurting people love to attend. And this week we turn the corner and we begin talking about our values. Values are incredibly important. They answer the question, who do we want to be? What kind of people do we want to be? What kind of culture do we want to have? Someone told me this one time, that values times behavior, that equals your culture. And one of the reasons that our cultural values are so important is that they answer the question for all the macro and micro decisions that we face. Our values really clarify what we should do in any given moment. And this week we're talking about this. Take truth seriously and give grace relentlessly. Jesus came full of grace and truth. He came full of grace and truth, and He revealed to us what God truly is like. When we see Jesus, we see who God is. And so those of us who know Him, we are His ambassadors. We carry the message of reconciliation. And reconciling means to be brought back into alignment, to be made right with God. And we do that through what Jesus has done for us. And so if we're going to be reconciled with God, who is truth and grace, then we should be people who hold on to truth and grace. We don't sometimes choose truth and sometimes choose grace. We always hold on to both. We never elevate one over the other. We never choose one at the expense of the other. We are people, because we are people who are reconciled to God, who take this sacred trust seriously. We love and we pursue equally and wholeheartedly truth and grace. So this is what I want you to talk about today. You're going to have a few questions to go through, and I hope that it's helpful. But this is the thing that I want you to get real about. This is the thing I'm inviting you to get a little vulnerable about. Do you tend to be a truth person, or do you tend to be a grace person? Outside of Jesus, I don't think that there's anyone who is all truth and all grace all the time. Most of us tend towards one over the other. Truth is good. But truth without grace can be heavy, it can be harsh, and it can be incredibly scary. Grace is a good and wonderful thing, but grace without truth can be hollow and empty and purely sentimental. But truth and grace together, that is life-changing. It's incredibly attractive. And that's who God is, and that's where life is found. And so I'm going to ask you to talk about this a little bit in your group, to drop your guard and to get real about what are some reasons that you tend to be truth-oriented instead of grace-oriented, or what are some of the reasons that you tend to be grace-oriented over truth-oriented. Those of us who love truth, it's because sometimes ideas are easier than the messiness of relationship. Those of us who love truth, we see the world through the lens of right and wrong, and we feel like we're right, and so we're really, really comfortable with truth. Truth is the story of reality, and that's important. But grace is the story of relationship. And those of us who tend to be grace people over truth people, is we don't ever want anybody to feel bad. And we want people to know that they are accepted and that they're cared for and they're loved. And that's a good thing. But what is love and acceptance without truth? Grace without truth would be kindness based in a lie. We need both. When truth and grace are together, truth is never something that we have to be afraid of, because we know that we are secure by God's love for us. We are secure in the undeserved kindness that He gives to us. So I hope you enjoy talking about why is it that you are a truth person over a grace person, or a grace person over a truth person, and what is your next step to be both a truth and a grace person. I'll be thinking about our church, because I want our church to run simultaneously on the rails of truth and grace. We never elevate one over the other. We never choose one at the expense of the other. We choose both, always. Have a great conversation.